have been so many times in my life where I knew I needed to do something, and then I filled all this extra time not doing that thing. And then the moment I did it, I was like, wow, that took way less time than I thought it was going to take. And not only that, it took way less time than it took me to delay to actually get to this point. And if I had only started with just doing what I was supposed to do, I could have done 4 or 5 other things that I was also supposed to do by this exact same point.
I feel like we spend too much of our lives waiting on life to happen.
It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. Do something every day that makes you uncomfortable. Face your fears head on. It's in those moments of discomfort that you truly discover who you are. It's not about winning or losing. It's about never giving up. It's about discovering what you're made of. When your mind tells you you're done, that you can't go any further, you're only at 40% of what you're capable of. Don't listen to that inner voice trying to stop you. Push through it. Push through the pain. Push through the doubts, and you'll find greatness on the other side.
Become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed. And finally, this will save you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you, not someone else's imitation of you.
I wanted to do something that nobody had ever done before. And that started with a dream and a goal. I wanted to be the greatest of all time. I went 5 straight years without missing a single day of workout, 365 days a year. Every single day I was in the water. There are days you're not going to want to do it, sure. I mean, everybody has those days. But it's what you do on those days that help you move forward.
Do what you feel, say what you feel, like trust your heart. Yeah, trust your gut. Trust your instincts, because that instinct is who God made you to be. Not, what lines up with your frat brothers, or what lines up with what your dad wanted, or what lines up with your classmates, or, it's just, God has something inside of you. And when you walk down the street, you're thinking about it, and then you just see it in the window. And then you go down another street and you see the same thing, or you're thinking about a number and that number pops up, or you see it on a license plate. And that's just, something is trying to say, be the maximum yay. Be the maximum you. And God won't give you anything that you can't handle.
It's funny because if you regress fear to its most basic form, it's death. And death is the greatest motivator. And you can prove it in a simple example. It's like if I all of a sudden go up to anybody on the street and I put a gun in their head and I say, point a gun at their head and I say, go do this thing, they'll go do it. But if I say, you can have anything you want if you do this, they're willing to go 10 times harder with a gun in their face to not die. And so if you take fear and regress it all the way down to its basis form, that's what the insecurity is. If they think I won't be enough, and if they don't think I won't be enough, then this won't happen. If this won't happen, this won't happen, I'll be alone and I'll be dead. Right? If you just regress it all the way down, that's all it is. And so the biggest achievers in life, I think, have most directly tied them not doing whatever it is that they want to do to death, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. And then that's what motivates them harder.
But my point is there's nothing that's impossible for you. It's all meant for you. Yeah. And it's up to you. One of my favorite quotes is, every day I wake up, I'm one day closer to death. So what you gonna do with the time you got left? It's understand that this is our time right now. The moment is now. These moments, we only have the moment. So a lot of us live in the future and a lot of us live in the past. And that's something that we have to get out of the habit of. And I think when you accept where you are, you're kind of letting go of that and making an action plan to putting your attention on your intention. And of course, you have an idea of where you would like to be, but God doesn't always give us what we want. God gives us what we need. And sometimes those are the same thing and sometimes they're not. Yeah. And it all works out,
You want to know if you're talking about young men that might not have any direction right now? Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just get up, move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it.
The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold, but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.
I think a lot of times the decisions that we make are predicated on the conversations we need to have. Because usually and what's interesting is like, you can define commitment by eliminating alternatives. So if you're committed, you've eliminated alternative actions. Right? Like you can say I'm committed, but until you eliminate other options, you're not committed.
There's always a get out of jail free card.
Right. And so a lot of people make decisions to end relationships, to quit their job, to start the new thing, but they don't become committed to the decision until they remove the other options. And then you're forced to take action on it.
Life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. Every day you have a choice. Be a victim or a victor. You can let circumstances dictate your destiny, or you can take control and create your own fate. The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. Pain isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the best teacher you'll ever have. When you feel like giving up, remember that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever.
You've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday, there was rugby, there was this, there was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this, and let's engage in this. And I can't do it. I just don't, people are talking to me and in my head I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
All of you have a gift. You just gotta quit wanting your gift to be somebody else's gift. Identify your own gift, because you already have it. Here's the way you identify your gift. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That is your God-given gift. That's it.
Most people don't change. They live the same 6 months of their lives 100 times in a row, and then they die. They go to the same places, they make the same jokes, they tell the same stories, they work the same job, and then they die. And it's all because they were never willing to be uncomfortable, because they were never willing to change. And a lot of people get really uncomfortable when I talk about this, but most people are average. The average person stays stuck in the same patterns. And so if you want to have a different outcome, you have to walk a different path.
Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. No results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 work. No results, I'm a little bit better. Work. Boom.
Just got paid.
I just got paid. And it looks like overnight success.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing and then the bubble popped. And then boom, it looks like you were doing it all along.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get the success. The success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that futurement of success, the better life. Very few are. And when you get the success, what comes with that is many that love you, but the majority will hate you for it, because your success is a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities, where they came up short, where they didn't quite have it inside and never went back to revisit it, where failure is what stood instead of improving failure for success. Failure is part of the recipe for success. You fail 1,000 times before you succeed. Every single person has. It's the losers that fail once and quit. Every winner has done failed. The loser and the winner both have failed. It's just that the winner gets back up and does it again. Very lonely road success is. Know that going into it. But it's the only road that will lead to a life of remembrance.
It's funny, human beings want to show you the best side, and they want to hide the worst side. For me, I'm going to teach you how to be vulnerable. Because that's the only way you fix yourself. You don't fix yourself by coming out here and me selling you some fucking books. That's why I don't have them. I forgot them. I'm glad people got something from the book. I want you to learn that the only way you grow is how to look at yourself and say, okay, like I did. Table longer than this. What the fuck I have to do to get somewhere? There was nothing good on there. Nothing. Yeah, I love playing basketball. I left that out. That's something I love to do. I don't care about that. That didn't make the fucking list. Because the list that I had to live by was the very list that was to get me at this table with you. To talk to you, to the normal human beings which I once was, about how you can get somewhere and how it looks. It looks very ugly.
Life will not give you what you want if you want everything. And that's most people. They're not willing to make the trade. So what they do is they live out one path, and then they look at the other path and say, oh, I wish I had done that. But they don't take into account all the costs of the other path that they're not knowing about because they never took it. And they're forgetting about all the benefits of their current life that they're assuming are going to be there and present in that other reality too, that they wouldn't have had to make the reverse.
But you cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You got to take the stairs.
What controls the quality of your life? What controls the quality of your life? Is it money? Can you have a lot of money and still have a horrible life? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it relationships? Can you have someone who totally loves you and still be miserable? Yes or no? So there's only two things that control the quality of your life. Please jot them down. For the rest of your life, you want to remember. The quality of my life is controlled by two things: meaning and emotion. Meaning and emotion. The meaning you give to things controls the emotion that you feel. People come up with different meanings, and that produces different emotions, and those emotions make you make different decisions. When you're angry, you're going to decide differently than when you're playful or grateful or excited. So the secret to life is controlling meaning and emotion.
The truth is, whatever game you play in life, sometimes you're going to lose. A point, a match, a season, a job. It's a roller coaster with many ups and downs. And it's natural when you're down to doubt yourself and to feel sorry for yourself. And by the way, your opponents have self-doubt too. Don't ever forget that. You want to become a master at overcoming hard moments. That is, to me, the sign of a champion.
Like, I realized that a little bit of change in me when I looked in the mirror, because I used to suffer from pretty bad acne. I still have a bunch of scars I'm trying to get rid of. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, dang, like, once I get rid of these scars, I'll be even greater. And that like even greater part showed me like a little bit how different I was than previously. Because previously I might have said, oh, I'll be great then. But like positing that you're enough now, or, you know, feeling exactly where you want to be, I feel like is integral to getting there. Like, I like feeling like the highest version of myself, and that all starts with realizing where you want to be and where you want to go and how you want to be, and just conducting yourself there. You know, stop trying, start doing. I feel like a lot of us try to get to a point rather than just being there now.
A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take two steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that.
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out, come out the other side. Don't leave it and go, ooh, Even if I just would, that keeps me up at night. I think it keeps a lot of us up at night. When you have something you just don't know, whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want, finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't have it. Said I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to.
A distracted person lacks energy. And when they get to the thing they need to be focusing in on, they don't have the energy to give. But when a person says, no, this is the one thing I'm going to do, and they set their mind to it, they set their eyes on it, they set their hand to do it, all of a sudden energy begins to fill their life. Why? Because what you focus on, what you concentrate on, what you desire to accomplish, once your eyes are fixed on that, it begins to energize you, and you begin to see the possibility of making it happen. So, what's your target? What's your goal? Whatever it is, focus. Trust me, the energy will come.
You're constantly focused on what's missing versus what you have. You're focused on what you can't control. And there's two worlds, right? The external world, the internal world. We can't control the external world, we can influence it. The part we can control is what's going on inside of us. And that, we can control what we focus on. We can control the meaning. We can decide the meaning. We're the meaning makers, and we can decide what to do. And when we make those three decisions, we're in control of our life, and all the anxiety and bullshit tends to go away, especially if we're trying to do that to serve something more than ourselves.
Things will beckon to you and call to you, and you'll have intuitions about which pathway to take. And you will, in all likelihood, follow those, because what else do you have? You have these orienting instincts. This is another reason why you don't lie. Because if you lie and you practice lying, you pathologize your instincts. And then your intuitions lead you wrong.
He said the key to success was to set a goal and then to stay with it until you achieve success in at least one important thing. He said that your subconscious mind will then accept that success experience and store it as a pattern, like a template. And then from then on, your subconscious will drive you and direct you and guide you to repeat the pattern of success in other things that you attempt. Another way of saying it is that nothing succeeds like success. Psychologists have demonstrated that achievement brings you a natural high. Once you've experienced your first great success, then not only are you unconsciously programmed to repeat it, but nothing else will ever give you the same wonderful sense of satisfaction.
When you're not feeling good, you are naturally just going to attract bad stuff to you. What is feeling? Feeling, conscious awareness, how you feel, is conscious awareness of the vibration you're in. And if you are not feeling good, you're in a bad vibration. Do you know that wham, just like that, you can change the vibration? This body you're living in is a molecular structure, and it's in a very high speed of vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. People that are feeling good are in a good vibration. You can put yourself in a good vibration in a heartbeat.
Take charge of your health. You're the one that's responsible for it. It's not a requirement of society that you not have a heart attack and take care of your family. That's not a requirement of society, but you must make it a requirement of yourself. Society doesn't require that you build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. That's not a requirement of society. It's a requirement you impose on yourself to build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And I want you to find your own walk right now, your own way of striding, pacing, any direction, anything you want, whether it's proud, whether it's silly, anything.
You have to get beyond the analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. And that's where meditation comes in, because you can teach people through practice how to change their brainwaves, slow them down. And when they do that properly, they do enter the operating system where they can begin to make some really important changes. So most people then wait for crisis or trauma or disease or diagnosis. They wait for loss, some tragedy to make up their mind to change. And my message is, why wait? And you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. And I think right now, the cool thing is that people are waking up.
Pursue things that have meaning in life and things that you care about. You know, love, challenges, relationships, and happiness might ensue. But you don't pursue the happiness itself, because it's inevitably not going to be there all the time. So if you're just constantly seeking more happiness and it's not there, then you're seeking something that's never going to be there. But if you're able to just stick in what you're doing right now, and in those hard times, believing they're going to lead to good times, it just creates a lot less friction in your life, you know? And I think whenever we're going through a hard time, we just want it to end. But it's those moments that allow us to appreciate the good ones.
Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from your family members that ain't ever opened a business. Get away from your family members that ain't ever followed their dream. Get away from your family members ain't never been nowhere but to the family reunion. Ain't never been to a beach. Get away from them. Get away from them. I had to do it.
There's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like, it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff.
If you had to talk about the success, guys, you cheapen the accomplishment altogether. The true champions are quiet. The critics of life, these fucking parasite society, has never seen the crowd from the field's view. They've also never taken a breath of air that's mixed with anxiety and pressure. They know no victory nor defeat, because they never put themselves at risk, they never shown up, they never walked their talk. So therefore, we tell them to go fuck themselves in their opinion. We don't care what they fucking say. All we care about is people that perform. And those guys and girls, they don't need to talk.
If you want to be exceptional, and I will say this again, then it means you will be an exception. The majority of people will not behave the way you are. They will say, why are you acting so weird? Why are you behaving this way? This isn't normal. What's going on? They're going to ask you these questions because they want you to get back in line. But back in line leads down the road, and you know where that road ends, and you know that's not where you want to be.
Things happen. In life, folks, you cannot change your life unless you change something. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and then next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something.
You have to want it more than you fear it, more than the fear of failure, judgment, or pain. You have to be willing to pay the price, to make the sacrifices, to put in the hours. Because greatness isn't given, it's earned. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start earning it. Your future depends on you. Your dreams are waiting for you. Don't let them down. Stand firm and keep pushing forward. You're still here, aren't you? Good. That means you're looking for more. That means you're ready to take this to the next level. Let's go even deeper. Understand something fundamental. Your mind is the battlefield. It's where the war is won or lost. The limits you perceive are often self-imposed. You must reprogram your mind to believe you can go further, that you can endure more, that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
If you want the future to change for you, you've got to change. If you don't change, the next 6 years of your life is going to be just like the last 6. You'll still be behind on your bills. You'll still be behind on your promises. If you will change, everything will change for you. If you will get better, everything will get better for you. If you'll change your philosophy, if you'll change your habits, if you'll refine your thinking, if you'll change and accept some new disciplines, if you'll turn the corner where you've been in the past, go for a new life for the future, all kinds of remarkable things will happen for you if you will change.
The biggest percentage of your focus was on one thing. Do you see it that way? Like that was my edge over everybody else?
I do. At the time, I didn't really understand that. Right? So, basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to,
everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Everything accumulates over time. That you may have to put in many tiny efforts that nobody sees or appreciates before you achieve anything worthwhile. It's like a snowball. A snowball starts off very small, but it grows as it adds millions and millions of tiny snowflakes and continues to grow as it gathers momentum, turning into an avalanche that takes the whole mountain in front of it.
You're not living the best life that you want to live. You're not the person you want to be. You're not the person the 8-year-old you wanted to be. And I bet you're not even taking steps to become that person, are you? And that's what's wrong with the world. That's what's wrong with this country. We have a bunch of people that want to point fingers and defer responsibility off to anything and everything except the one thing that can change their entire lives. And that's looking in the fucking mirror and saying, fuck you, man. You did this to me. You made me this way, and I'm gonna fix it.
Is you don't get what you deserve, you get what you accept. We hear this all the time. I think I deserve more. I deserve more money. I deserve more love. I deserve more respect. And we walk around sometimes internally feeling we're not getting what we deserve. And guess what? You're right. You're not getting what you deserve. You're getting what you accept. No one's gonna notice when you work harder at work if you don't make it clear. No one's gonna notice when you're putting effort into a relationship unless you make it clear. No one's gonna know or remember the sacrifices you've made until you stand up for yourself. Remember, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you accept.
So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream. Many people, but don't make dreams your fucking master. But I was able to dream outside those fucking four walls of that small town.
Life is meaningful. It doesn't mean that your life is perfect. It doesn't mean that your life doesn't have stress. I don't know anybody that doesn't have stress in their life or frustrations or concerns. But think in terms of the quality of your life. If you have a sense of well-being, what are your relationships like? How does it feel when you wake up in the morning? When challenges happen, how do you roll or flow? It doesn't mean you don't get stuck, but you don't stay there. And to me, it's a state of readiness. It's emotional fitness as opposed to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is really valuable. Intelligence is a resource, but a state of fitness is different. That's why I use emotional fitness when I describe it, is because when you're emotionally fit, you're ready. It's like my muscles are ready. Something happens, I can make it happen. And I think, mental well-being is a state of being where you're able to enjoy your life, you're able to find meaning in your life, and you're able to learn from the challenges, and nothing really, smashes you. If it does, you pick yourself up very quickly. And it's just like it being fit. The more mental well-being, the greater the balance of that in your life, the better you can roll.
Most people quit because they focus on how far to go still, never realizing how far they've already come. In perspective, it's not that much further. It's not that much further. But if you're thinking wrong, and thinking, and weighing all your decisions on like the temporary comfort levels of heat, or you're tired, or the job's on your ass, or the girlfriend, or your fucking husband, boyfriend, whatever is on your ass, or all these little kind of nitpicky things, I think they're tests, really. When you find yourself going down a road and like everything's kind of going wrong, if there's a higher power, I think that's when they're testing you to see if you're ready for the responsibility of greatness. Because with great achievement comes that responsibility that everyone's going to be looking at you and judging you and picking you apart and trying to break you down. Are you strong enough for all that? Yes, you're capable of achieving it, but are you mentally strong enough to endure it?
I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And
I think people should use their pain more. And if they don't have enough pain, then one, maybe that's fine, and you're a dreamer, and that's okay. But I will tell you that a word that I read in my like 6-month journey between when I wanted to quit and when I actually quit, there was this word that just like pissed me off. And it was this in this self-help or entrepreneur book, and it said, there are entrepreneurs and there are wantrepreneurs. And it was like, wantrepreneurs are people who read these books and don't do anything. And I was just like, I don't want to be one. I was like, I am one of these right now. And it just like felt so powerless.
People can make up a mission statement, an ethos in which they want to live by. And every morning you wake up, you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company's, your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
There is a strange feeling that one is not yet in real life. For the time being, one is doing this or that, but there is always the fantasy that sometime in future, the real thing will come about. And it's similar to another idea from Gwynder Bogle called deferred happiness syndrome, the common feeling that your life has not begun, that your present reality is a mere prelude to some idyllic future. This idyll is a mirage that will fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through was in fact.
You can never lose faith. That's the key. You have to believe in something that you can't see. You have to believe when you don't see no way how. You have to buckle down and keep believing. God is always coming. Here's the deal. The moment you ask God for something, he boxes it up and he ships it to you. Here's the problem with the package. He never gives you the date that it's going to arrive. It's going to come. He just don't tell you when. If he told you when, it would destroy the relationship that's required to have an abundant life, which is faith. I'm telling you, God got a plan for you that's so out of sight, it would trip you out. All you got to do is ask him for it and wait on it and be willing to work. Faith without works is dead. That's all you got to do.
When a man can't find a deep sense of pleasure, they distract themselves with meaning. If ease, grace, joy, and playfulness don't come easily to you, one solution is to just ignore moment-to-moment happiness entirely and always pursue hard things. You become a world champion at winning the marshmallow test. You convince yourself that delayed gratification in perpetuity is noble because you struggle to ever feel grateful. TLDR, you prioritize meaning over happiness because happiness doesn't come easily to you.
Well, the opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like if I had to, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz. If I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go.